Today we're here to watch Cruyff. I'm being told he's known as one of the greatest Dutch footballers of all time. I also saw that he has won 3 Ballon d'Ors. Now, this is a player from the 70s, and honestly, I haven't watched a lot of players from anything before really the 90s. A few players for sure, but most of the time we're watching either more current players or players who are still in the league. Now, it says that he was winning these Ballon d'Ors in the 70s, which means I probably haven't really seen any of his gameplay, unlike some other people who we react to from today, where I might have seen them in another clip and already heard of them. I've never heard of this guy. I don't know anything about him besides what I just told you. We're just gonna have to find out what he's all about. Unintentionally rhyming +1. Before I hit play, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this video. Let's go.
If you look through the history books of players who have forever changed the game of football into what it is today, of course you'll hear names of all-time greats like Pelé and Maradona. However, there was one more player in Europe who came right in between their eras and pioneered a completely different style of football that forever changed the game. One of the most skillful and graceful players ever, the great Johan Cruyff. So let's go and see just exactly how he did it. Hey guys, what's up? It's Raymar, and today we're gonna look at how good was Johan Cruyff. But before we start, I just want to let you guys all know that my merch store is finally open. I know it's wintertime, so I dropped some amazing hoodies, long sleeves, and tees that are guaranteed to keep you guys warm and comfy. My personal favorites are these 2 hoodies right here. The football, not soccer hoodie.
You know what? That one's clean as fuck. I love the logo, like, right under the,
and the beautiful game hoodie. I mean, come on, just look at how minimal yet clean some of these designs are. So if you've ever wanted to support the channel and let everyone know you love football, why not get some merch and look good while doing it? Most of the hoodies will be gone by the end of winter, so click the first link in the description to check my merch store out now.
We always let them self-promo when we react.
Johan Cruyff was a rare generational talent. As a child, his skill was already noticeably different from everyone around him. So much so that when he was spotted playing in his local playground at the age of 10 with the neighborhood kids, an Ajax youth coach living in the area would notice Cruyff's abilities and
I feel like I haven't seen black and white footage of footballers, like playing in the street, basically. Like, hold on.
And with the one around him.
He's just out here in the street. I think I've seen black and white footage of players in a game, but not just warming up, practicing like this. Also, the ball looks so different
So much so that when he was spotted playing in his local playground at the age of 10 with the neighborhood kids, an Ajax youth coach living in the area would notice Cruyff's abilities and immediately offer him a guaranteed spot in the club's youth program. No questions asked and no trial even needed, knowing with pure confidence that he had found something special. Imagine how insane that would sound to a club's president today. 7 years later, at the age of 17, Johan Cruyff would make his debut for the men's team at a time where Ajax was literally at the lowest point of its history, finishing at the lowest standing in the league table since the club itself was founded. Just a year later, the 18-year-old Cruyff would prove that he indeed should have a spot in the starting lineup. And ever since Cruyff had solidified his spot in the starting 11, he absolutely dominated in every single match he played. And trust me, I can't even exaggerate this enough, as Cruyff literally made an immediate impact for his club, scoring a total of 25 goals in 23 appearances, a 1.09 goals per game ratio, leading his team from the
Okay, so from 1965 to 1966, 1 year, 23 appearances, 25 goals. As someone who still is obviously learning what the right stats are, what good stats are, I don't even need to know that that's fucking insane. What?
23 appearances,
oh my
a
God.
1.09 goals per game ratio, leading his team from the worst season they've ever had just a year ago into becoming the 1965-1966 Eredivisie champions. All this from an 18-year-old player who just had his first season being in the starting lineup. And Cruyff didn't even play as a forward, but as an attacking midfielder, directly responsible for the flow of his team's offense. From this point on, Cruyff would be directly responsible for making Ajax the dominant club giants in the Netherlands for decades to come into what they are today. People had immense expectations of Cruyff in his home country, and the next season he would go on to completely shatter them as he would go on to score 41 goals in 41 appearances, once again carrying his team to another league title and adding his first Dutch Cup trophy. At this
A
point,
goal a
Cruyff was
game.
expected to do this for his club every single year, and in the 1967-68 season, he would lead them to a third straight title with 34 goals in 40 appearances, finally earning his very first Dutch Footballer of the Year award, which had for some reason managed to escape him the past few years, but finally could not be denied from him any longer. The next season, while
I feel like his age is one of the most impressive things to me, and a reason he could have won this award he just talked about year 1 or 2, because I mean, I know now and I realize that there are players who get into these professional leagues from a very young age, which is something I definitely did not know like 6 to 7 months ago, maybe even almost a year ago now. Before I got into football, I did not know people were getting recruited at 16, 17, even younger sometimes. Like, it's just a crazy concept to me. And I feel like for me, if I watched this, I would have for sure thought he would deserve the award he just won on year 3, year 1, because he came in at 17. It was his first season on the team, and he absolutely slayed out, made a bad team much better. Like, it's just impressive as hell. Like,
while Ajax finished 3 points behind the league title champions, Cruyff would still produce an absolutely amazing 34 goals and 23 assists in 43 appearances, an incredible .79 goals per game ratio, while also having .54 assists a game, winning his second consecutive Dutch Footballer of the Year award. Despite the lack of success that season, nobody had doubted Cruyff for a moment, as in the 1969-1970 season, he would once again help his club win a double with the Eredivisie title and another Dutch Cup trophy, producing absolutely mind-blowing numbers by scoring 33 goals and getting 34 assists in 46 appearances, a .72 goals per game ratio and insane .74 assists per game ratio, being the only player to ever score at least 30 goals a game but still have more assists in a single season. Cruyff had been in
case you guys didn't hear that,
at least 30 goals a game but per game ratio, being the only player to ever score at least 30 goals a game but still have more assists in a single season. Cruyff had been incredibly consistent, putting up amazing performances, but had yet to take his club to the very top of Europe. That would all change in the 1970-1971 season.
Pause. Excuse me.
Incredibly consistent, putting up amazing performances, but had yet to take his club to the very top of Europe. That would all change in the 1970-1971 season. That year, Cruyff had scored an incredible 6 goals in a single match to lead his club to the Dutch Cup, and finally cemented his team as the world's best by winning the European Cup, which, if you didn't know, was basically the old name of the Champions League. He would score 27 goals and have 15 assists in 37 appearances along the way, a .73 goals per game ratio, helping him win his third Dutch Footballer of the Year award and his very first Ballon d'Or. The 1971-1972 season would see even greater success, with Ajax winning the Eredivisie League title, with Cruyff leading the league in scoring, winning the Dutch Cup, and to top it off, Cruyff would score the only 2 goals in the final to win the European Cup once again, basically completing the highly coveted treble.
I know this vid's really hyping him up. I'm sure he had very good teammates as well, because you really can't be a one-man show, but this guy just seems like the hardest carry ever. Like, he's in huge matches scoring 6 goals, and then in this one, the match they just talked about, he scored the only 2 goals that allowed them to win. Like, this bro's a legend.
For Ajax, he would end the season with 33 goals and 10 assists in 45 games. And the next year, Cruyff, along with Ajax, would once again win the Eredivisie title and go back-to-back, three-peating the European Cup, something that had only been done by 3 clubs in history, the most recent being Real Madrid's Champions League three-peat from 2016 to 2018, winning a Ballon d'Or along the way, and win his 4th Dutch Footballer of the Year award. This was when football pundits and managers at the time had noticed a new style of football that Cruyff's playing style had enabled, which would eventually become known as total football. Cruyff was so skilled and diverse that he basically moved back and forth from midfield to up top, pressing on offense, which is most simply like like how Messi has been playing for the last several years. This theory of football requires a player skilled enough to do that, and Cruyff was a pioneer in such tactic by his pure skill and ability alone. This total football had led Cruyff's Ajax squad to an incredible, perfect record of 46-0 for 2 seasons spanning from 1971 to 1973, which had never been seen again. In total, while playing for Ajax, Cruyff would score 273 goals in 375 appearances, an incredible .73 goals per game ratio as an attacking midfielder. Cruyff is also well known for his time in Barcelona when he transferred to the club in the 1973-1974 season for a world record transfer fee at the time. He immediately made an impact by scoring 24 goals and having 4 assists in 38 appearances, helping Barcelona beat their rivals Real Madrid and win their very first league
Real Madrid and Barcelona still big enemies, even in the, what was this, the 70s now?
Title in over 14 years.
Runs deep.
In his 5 years at Barcelona, Cruyff only managed to win 1 La Liga title in 1974 and 1 Copa del Rey in 1978. He scored 85 goals and had 15 assists in 227 appearances, while delighting and putting on a show for countless fans with his skills in dribbling and scoring some amazing goals. Cruyff would also invent the iconic move known as the Cruyff turn, while playing for his national team of the Netherlands in no other than the 1974 World Cup. Cruyff would feint a pass before dragging the ball back and turning 180 degrees to surprise and get past his defender. And the World Cup is one heck of a place to pioneer a incredible for his national team. In that very same World Cup, Cruyff would lead his team to the final, scoring 3 goals and having 3 assists along the way, but unfortunately would lose 2-1 against West Germany. Cruyff's efforts in 1974 earned him a consecutive Ballon d'Or award, the very first of a small list to ever win the award.
Dude, 6 for Messi, 5 for Ronaldo. I haven't seen Platini? I'm sure I'm butchering that, so maybe that we go there next. I've heard of a lot of these people. Let's see. Yeah, I've seen these names recommended, actually. A few of these. We've already seen Ronaldo as well, but I should probably go check out these other players who are in this list because it's a guarantee that they're going to be insane.
3 times. Cruyff would end his career with 402 goals and 108 assists in 702 appearances. His very first of a small list to ever win the award 3 times. Cruyff would end his career with 402 goals and 108 assists in 702 appearances, a .57 goals per game and .15 assists per game ratio throughout his 20-year club career, and an international career of 33 goals in 48 games, a .69 goals per game ratio for his country. However, Cruyff would leave an even longer-lasting legacy when he returned to football as a manager. He spent 3 years at Ajax from 1985 to 1988, being known as an innovator in attacking playstyle. Cruyff was also amazing at spotting talent, like when he scouted Marco van Basten and Dennis Bergkamp at very young ages and helped them develop their foundations. He would also return to Barcelona in 1988 as one of the most iconic managers in the history of the club. Cruyff would essentially lay the foundations for generations of future success at Barcelona. Within his 8 years in the club, Cruyff won 4 consecutive La Liga titles, 3 Spanish Super Cups, 1 Copa del Rey, 1 UEFA Super Cup, and 1 Champions League title. Cruyff also helped push Barcelona's La Masia Academy to further develop the club for long-term success, and brought in iconic Barcelona players like Pep Guardiola, Ronald Koeman, Michael Laudrup, and Romario, leaving many apprentices to his method and mind as a footballing legend. Cruyff's coaching doctrine of total football and innovation of the 4-3-3 lineup would be one of the first uses of a defensive or holding midfielder and the modern attacking midfielder, which is even
I don't know lineups very well in terms of, like, I know there's this from FIFA, honestly. I can't pretend like I know this from anything else, but in FIFA you can set up like what formation you want your team to be in. So the 4-3-3, I assume now from this, was started by the man himself, and that's pretty cool. Imagine like leaving so much of a legacy like this. This guy, I mean, I hate not knowing him now watching this. It's like I feel like I should know him, but I am an American after all, so we don't get taught or see anything related to European football for the most part. And I'm kind of sad, but also happy because I get to learn it now.
been used as a
it allows me to get to relive all this shit.
Pep Guardiola's eventual tiki-taka style of football, as well as many other positional theories we see in the game today.
I love
Cruyff
Tiki
was in
Taka.
many ways one of the innovators of the modern game of football, both as a player and a coach, being one of the most influential footballers in history. Cruyff passed away in March 24, 2016 at the
Aw.
age of 64, but best believe he
so
will be
young.
forever remembered, as he has affected the game in unforgettable ways, and his name
so
will
sad he
continue to be
died.
spoken as
Aw.
long as the beautiful game is still being played. But that's all from me today, guys. This video
was a
was
great
made
video.
possible by Alaric Aguilar, Owen Torres, King.
This was very, very informational. I love the style of this as well because it wasn't focused heavily on his moves and whatnot. We got to see a little bit while he was talking over and commentating, but this was very educational, and I'm so pumped that I checked this out.